This might be a nothing video, but it might be everything video. Aren't all YouTube videos like that? Isn't life like that? Nothing and everything. So here we have my stack of what we're going to call the CGI comic book TV series. Like we're going to rank. Now, I could use that. There's websites with the S rank, A rank. Well, we're just going to do it this way. Just going to use we're going to do it in real life with real life stuff. And what I'll do is kind of like a top 10 countdown in which I will take the worst first and the best in jest, but for last. So the best will be last, the worst will be the first, and there really aren't any bad ones. I mean, you can see in here we got Beware the Bat, He-Man, we got Star Trek Prodigy, we got Star Wars Clone Wars, Green Lantern, Ninja Turtles. Now, Ninja Turtles, I only have these two, so I'm just gonna judge these two here. So these are the last, handful of episodes that came out for Nickelodeon's TMNT before the 2D cartoon and before the movie that just came out in 2023. So we have Rebels, Clone Wars, Green Lantern. So what I want to do is just rank these. These are, the only one that's still going on, I would say, is Star Trek Prodigy on Netflix. I'm glad I have my Netflix. Netflix for me is like the centerpiece streaming service. It goes with my phone, but really, everything moves in and out of streaming services, don't they? Except for the stuff that's made by the corporation. So let's go ahead and start. And we're going to start with the C or C+. These will be the ones that aren't that great, but they fit in okay. And I say they get about a C. So it'll be in this section here. So this will be the C section. No pun intended to anybody who gets a C section. But this will be the C department. And let me think of which ones will get that. Let me see which ones. Which ones will get the C's? Now, we're not counting any CGI movies. Only TV shows, TV series. Okay? So I'm going to say Ninja Turtles, right? So Ninja Turtles, Rocksteady, and Bebop, and the final chapters, right? So these two here, Rocksteady, Wanted, Bebop, and Rocksteady, and final chapters. These will be the C section. These ones, I felt like it's kind of weird. Sometimes it took me out of it that Rob Paulson was Donatello. I would have preferred 4 original voice actors. And I like the crossover with the original 87 Turtles. I think this was like the second time they crossed over in this one. And then there was some final chapters with the Mutant Apocalypse was very good. The Samurai with Usagi Yojimbo. Monsters vs. Mutants. I kind of watched this one. It's okay. It's more for kids. It's kind of dumbed down Universal Monsters. And then they had the Lord Dreg and Alien Invasion in another one. So there were a lot of stories in here, and they're all very good. I think it's the best, second only to the TMNT movie that came out for this. So I would say this is the C rank. Okay, this will be the B section, so be careful here. So everything in the B section will be this section here. So after Turtles, we're going to figure out what goes in the B section. That's going to be obvious. That's going to be He-Man. I think He-Man goes there. And let me see. What else can we put? We've got a few other things, do we not? Let me just do a little check here. What will I say? Because they should go into something. As I'm looking through these, I'll take my time here. I'm going to say this ranks a little higher than He-Man, and that's Beware the Bat. So this is the one season of Beware the Batman. So So He-Man first, right? So He-Man's ranks better than Turtles, right? But after the new He-Man cartoon, I would say Beware the Bat, Beware the Batman. This is Dark Justice and Shadows of Gotham. There you go. So that ranks a little higher. Um, this needed time to really. It's like eating a cake that wasn't fully cooked, or eating a steak that's not even medium rare. It's like 90% pink. This needed time to develop, and it didn't get enough time. This one has some more time to develop. I think also too we've seen so many Batman cartoons. We're so accustomed to what Batman's about, and that kind of helped kind of fill it out a bit. There were fewer characters in this. You had Humpty Dumpty as the only sort of Joker, Two Face. Well, there's Two Face at the end, isn't there? Sort of the sort of Joker, Riddler, kind of kooky character, and everybody else is like a ninja and shit. So, and I liked Katana. Katana was a likable person. You had other characters like Metamorpho. You had, um, there were other ones, and I sure forgot. Oh, Man Bat, yeah, Man Bat, and young Barbara Gordon, who was not yet Batgirl. And as I'm looking at these, hmm, sort of, I'm trying to think about this one. Okay, so this one here, so Star Trek Prodigy. Um, so let's get that into view here. So Star Trek Prodigy, all 20 episodes. I'm gonna put that in between B and A, and I'm gonna say it's undecided if it stays in the B section or the A section, because season 2 is going to come out on Netflix next year. So I want to see as an overall, did this series evolve? And I think it looks like it has. Um, Judging from the first 4 minutes I showed you, well, around copyright, because copyright stuff. It's the same problem that people have with the Kathleen Kennedy South Park episode. That's why I talked over that second season preview, because I didn't want my video blocked. Okay, it's one thing to show; it's a whole other thing. So because of that, I'm going to say it's a B show or an A show. I can't tell you because I really would like to see more. And let me just reorganize this. All right, so that's better organized. Now let's get into the A section right over here. Now these are like, almost the best of the best. They're very, very good. And I like these more than I would say Prodigy and Batman and Turtles, He-Man. So let's get into the A section. What can we put there? What could be in the A section? So we don't have too many choices left. And I'm going to say, if I have a couple of these or a few of these or not. All right, here we go. So Star Wars Rebels is A. And I think, I actually took the time all of October to watch the entire 4 seasons. And I got to tell you, it was as far from woke as possible, because the whole thing with the Skywalker saga did not happen yet. And there were still some things that were a little more right-leaning and were more entertaining for everyone. So I enjoyed that. I think this was, if you skip Solo, if you skip, what is it, Bad Batch, and you go straight into this, this is the perfect series, like the Luke series, right? There's no Luke yet, except a very, very tiny cameo of Luke Skywalker, but you have Leia in there. You have no Han. You do have Lando. But this is like the Luke saga before Luke realizes his purpose, his destiny, fulfilling his destiny, right? This is the Darth Vader's the bad guy. You have the evil Empire and the Stormtroopers, and you have Inquisitors. So if you watched this series and then watched Rogue One and then the 3 movies, the original trilogy, I think you'll get something more in depth. But I'd say that this one definitely ranks a little higher. And let me put something, but there's something that doesn't rank as high as this. But I will say that Green Lantern, the animated series, ranks below Rebels. And it did have Ian Abercrombie as who was the Emperor, and he's in this one as one of the Blue Owens who judge the Green Lanterns. So the Green Lantern series, while not as high as Rebels, was very good. You had 2 seasons. You had a love story between Razor and Aya, and you had stories with Sinestro, the Blue Lanterns. There was a Black Lantern cameo in the library where one of the Owens was. So you learned a little bit about the zombie Black Lantern logic. Uh, you have the Orange Lantern. I forgot Larfreeze or whatever his name is. Pink and Purple Lantern or Indigo Lantern, right? The romantic lanterns. There's all kinds of lanterns. So you've got that going on. And let's get to the what is the gold standard, the S rank. All right, let's get into it. Let's do it. This is the S, and we all know what this is going to be. Reboot. No, it's not reboot. It's going to be it is the Clone Wars. And so I will put these episodes, well, I have half of them here. I have the other half on the shelf. We got the Clone Wars. So, I mean, this was the biggest, and what made it important, now that we got these here the way they are, what made the Clone Wars important was that it was the first significant thing after the 6 movies. There was a Tartakovsky version, but the Tartakovsky version, I consider half of that to be canon, right? Everything just after Anakin becomes a Jedi Knight. And for this, it was really taking into more detail Asajj Ventress, Count Dooku, General Grievous, all those guys. And it would have gone on for 7 seasons or 8. They had all these ideas. The Asajj Ventress's death because of Quinlan Voss, right, by Count Dooku. That was going to be an 8-episode series. That ended up being a book. Cad Bane and young Boba Fett in the costume. So many ideas. Count Dooku facing the bounty hunters. There were so many ideas, and there were about 8 episodes that were given to us for free, and then Disney went, nope, takesies backsies, and took them all back. So Crystal Crisis on Utapau is canon, but we're never going to see that. I mean, remember that Saw Gerrera mentioned that this happened before with the giant Kyber crystal, but the episodes are not even around. So you can't watch them on YouTube, and you can't watch them anywhere else. You can't watch. I mean, are they on Disney Plus? Is Crystal Crisis on Utapau on Disney Plus? Anybody know? Just as a hey, thanks for watching. Here's these other episodes just for subscribing to Disney Plus. Is it there? Because I know the other episodes with the Bad Batch episodes, they redid those. Dave Filoni redid that, and instead of seeing Padme on the ship painted, now you see her like talking to Anakin, which is, I guess, is fine. But overall, I mean, when you look at all the six seasons and the movie, this was the greatest 3D animation work done by an independent studio. And nobody knew. Nobody knew that George Lucas was running out of money. All you have to do is look up Rick McCallum and Star Wars Detours, Star Wars Underworld. They had to raise money. Now, if it were me, now everybody will make fun of Kathleen Kennedy and George, but George Lucas sold the company. And I think if you had to do it all over again, okay, it's like Anakin killing the younglings and killing all the Jedi. I think that you would have just done a Kickstarter, okay, gotten the fans to fund all the Star Wars projects and fuck Disney, right? Your daughter, Katie Lucas, would have had more power. And Katie Lucas I don't think she would want to do woke. She liked Asajj Ventress. I liked Asajj Ventress. So, yeah, I mean, I think if George had to do it all over again, I don't think he would have sold to Disney. Well, that's the way it is. Nothing we can do about it. Disney's got everything, and fuck. I remember somebody told me, I think I've mentioned this, I've told this story many times. I said I would never sell my stuff to Disney. And this guy that I knew in my class, in my Japanese class years ago, said you would do it if the money was right. I'm like, no, no. And this was right as Disney bought Star Wars, okay, in 2012. He's like, come on, if the money was right, you'd sell to Disney. I was like, look what happened to the stuff that got sold to Disney, okay? If all I cared about was money, yeah, but look what happened to it. And I don't believe all George cared about was money. I don't think so. Otherwise, I wouldn't mention white slavers. So if you like this video, you know what to do. And take a look at these videos and see which ones you would rank. From Star Wars Clone Wars to Rebels to Green Lantern to Prodigy, Batman, He-Man, and Ninja Turtles. I think this deserves some better rewriting. And only so much you could do with Turtles. I mean, this one lasted a while. This would last one season. This is going to still go on. This lasted only 2 seasons, 4, 6, 7. I mean, this is the longest one. So there you go.